Both Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid spoke with the media today about the return of running back Kareem Hunt after being away from the Chiefs for over 5 years. Andy explained the process that led to Hunt's return, while Mahomes shared his thoughts on how Kareem has grown as a person since being released by Kansas City back in 2018. I'll also touch on several roster moves the Chiefs made today, including signing a new running back, though it's not Hunt, who's expected to see action this Sunday. But first, let's talk about the big news. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. First off, Isaiah Pacheco was officially placed on injured reserve today. While head coach Andy Reid didn't commit to a clear timeline for Pacheco's return, he said, we'll just see if it's this season or next. We'll see how he does as he goes through this. Hopefully not next season. NFL insiders seem optimistic that Pacheco could come back sooner rather than later. In fact, Ian Rappaport shared that Pacheco underwent successful surgery today with Dr. Robert Anderson, a foot and ankle specialist in Charlotte. According to Rappaport's sources, the good news is that there were no complications and no ligament damage was found. Rappaport believes Pacheco's timeline for recovery could be around 6-8 weeks, which would be much better than Reid's cautious remarks about possibly missing the rest of the season. It seems like Andy is just trying to manage expectations and avoid giving false hope about a quicker return, preferring to let insiders and reporters provide updates as Pacheco progresses through rehab. With Pacheco now on IR, the Chiefs made a few other notable roster moves today. Before I dive into that, it's worth mentioning that the Chiefs actually had 3 open spots on their 53-man roster as of yesterday, only carrying 50 players. These openings were created when running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire was placed on the non-football injury list home, and when Hollywood Brown and Isaiah Pacheco were moved to. Additionally, the Chiefs recently waived tight end Peyton Hendershot on September 16th, which was a bit surprising given they had just traded for him from the Cowboys during roster cuts. However, there was a strategic reason behind this move. The Chiefs traded a conditional 7th-round pick in 2026 for Hendershot. Since he wasn't on the 53-man roster for 5 games or part of the active roster for 3, the Chiefs get that pick back. While some speculate that Hendershot was waived due to his push on Roquan Smith during the Ravens game, which resulted in fines, it seems more likely that the Chiefs were simply protecting their draft pick. So it worked out. 2 Hendershot cleared waivers and re-signed to the practice squad today. So if the team had any real issue with him because of the fines, it's unlikely they'd bring him back. Another notable signing today was running back Kareem Hunt, who practiced with the team for the first time in 5.5 years, wearing number 29. However, that number is also being worn by defensive back Eric Scott Jr., who's also on the practice squad. So we'll see how the jersey situation plays out once Hunt is called up to play in a game. Andy Reid mentioned that Hunt could potentially see game action as early as this week or in the next couple of weeks, saying, we'll get him in here, get some work, and get him back in the swing of things as the game gets closer. We'll see how it goes and try to get him ready to play. It sounds like Hunt playing this Sunday is a possibility, though Reid didn't seem to suggest it was a certainty based on his body language. It's worth noting that when the Chiefs signed Samaje Perine a few weeks ago, he didn't see much playing time right away either. Hunt is familiar with the Chiefs system from his time in Kansas City, but after 5.5 years, he'll need to get back up to speed on the team's terminology. Reid doesn't think it'll take Hunt too long to adjust, which is why we may see him back on the field in the coming weeks.